This kit is clearly missing something, and that something is a combat shirt. Hey guys, welcome back to the Gear.Locker, and today we're going to be taking a look at two extremely rare combat shirts issued to the KSK at slightly different time periods. You may remember a pants comparison video that I did a little while back. This is going to be pretty darn similar, but what I'm going to show you is super cool. So stay tuned and let's jump into it. I also want your feedback on one particular part of this video. I'm testing out a new microphone system, particularly the Hollyland Mark I system. So compared to my older videos, let me know how this audio sounds to you. Of course, headphones are going to be best for that true audio quality, but I'm hoping to get rid of some of the echo that's in this room. So before we do any comparison between the two different shirts, let's do an in-depth look at each of them. And we're going to start with the 2016 dated Lindnerhof Taktik combat shirt. As the date would imply, this was introduced around 2016, though I know testing was maybe done a little bit earlier, around the 2015 year. This combat shirt does take a lot of design notes from very popular combat shirts from around the time, including the Arc'teryx ones and the Cry Precision ones. Up top on the neck and chest, we see a quarter zip design. This is a very sturdy zipper with a little bit of protection on the outside. Around the collar, you'll notice some Velcro tabs. These are very small, although what I believe the intention was for breacher hoods to be Velcroed onto this. Another very notable thing you'll see is this V shape here with the Pyrad material, which is a proprietary fireproof material from Lindnerhof Taktik, to connect to the combat shirt part of it. This is a very lightweight and breathable, moisture-wicking area, whereas this is a lot more rugged and durable, and it is in the camouflage pattern, because that's the part that's going to be exposed when wearing a plate carrier. As we open this combat shirt up, you'll see that the flecktarn fabric extends all the way to the shoulders and down the sleeves, which have a few interesting bits to them. On each arm, you'll notice a rectangular pocket that can be accessed with this zipper. Inside, it does expand somewhat for additional storage, as well as has another internal pocket. You'll see a 4x4 Velcro panel here, similar to the Arc'teryx style combat shirts. And of course, your German flag. One of the most notable parts of this combat shirt is the elbow protection. Similar to the knee protection on the combat pants, this has a hexagonal material, kind of like a ceramic coating up top. And internally, it can accept certain types of very small elbow pad protectors. Similar to the pants, these are inserted on the inside and closed with the Velcro patches here. The cuff can be opened with Velcro. There's two small positions for it, both in that kind of rounded oval shape, and can open up to reveal a little bit more material here for some movability and flexibility of the cuff. And as I mentioned on the inside, you can place your elbow pad here. This would go inside out, place it in, and then you can turn it right side out, so that is on the inside of this hexagonal reinforced area. The back of the shirt boasts no discernible features other than a little bit more of a rounded corner here to connect the bottom flexible material to the more rigid flecktarn material. So now let's take a look at the Wattana top. This 2022 dated Wattana top is very, very similar in design. There are very few notable differences, and we'll go over them later, but for now, let's take a look at all the features of this shirt. Similarly, we see that quarter zip design with a little bit of protection on the outside of the zipper. Around the collar, we still retain those little Velcro patches, again for what I presume to be for a breacher hood. We still have a sort of V shape to connect the flexible material to the Pyrad, which extends all the way down the arms and the sleeves of the combat shirt. The pocket design is practically identical, with your one large pocket and then one smaller internal pocket. You have your 4x4 Velcro square and your German flag patch up here. The elbow pad area is nearly identical as well, where you're able to place a smaller pad on the inside and it is reinforced with this hexagon type ceramic material. Something really interesting about this particular version was that the fabric used in this elbow spot is 3 flecktarn, whereas this is the 5-color flecktarn. Kind of a cool detail. I haven't really seen this on any other combat shirt that I've seen for sale or in private collection hands, so this is a really neat part of this combat shirt in particular. And of course, the cuff can be opened with this Velcro piece here with a little bit of expandability. The back of the combat shirt boasts no more features aside from this more straight connection between the Pyrad material and the combat shirt material on the bottom. So now let's take a look at some of the notable differences. On my 2022 dated Wattana shirt, you can see a very rounded V, whereas on the Lindnerhof Taktik one, it is coming to a lot sharper and more of a rectangular point. The materials are identical. However, there is a slight design difference on the upper arms. While the Lindnerhof maintains a straight cut here where all of the stretch material is exposed, the Wattana adds some more reinforcement on the front shoulder area. Additionally, the Wattana shirt has the pockets sit far higher than the Lindnerhof Taktik shirt, which of course changes some of the areas of stitching. On the Wattana, it just slightly differs, nothing functional or design-wise, but because of the placement of the pockets and the additional reinforcement, some of the stitching lines are just slightly different. Another cool piece about my Lindnerhof Taktik shirt is this was operator modified, so that compass could be placed here, more particularly like a Sunto M9 compass, so I'll have to grab one of those and slap it on here. Another significant difference is in the cuffs. On the Lindnerhof Taktik version down bottom, there are two small Velcro dots and one here. So obviously you could place it on either or depending on the tightness you need. However, on the Wattana top, it is one large strip that you can place anywhere needed. I don't think this was necessarily an improvement in design. I think it was just going from two small ones that you had to sew on separately to one larger one, simplifying the process. The last notable difference is on the rear of each combat shirt. As you'll see, the Lindnerhof one has a very wide arc made up of three separate pieces. The shoulder from the arm extends diagonally up to the rear of the collar, and there's the small fill-in spot here. On the Wattana combat shirt, this is not the case. It is more rounded around the arms and meets up at the top of the shoulder, where a rectangular and more straight piece fills the upper torso. And with that collar on the original Lindnerhof Taktik version, it is a little bit longer than that of the Wattana. I would say this is roughly 4 inches, and this one is only about 2. When wearing these combat shirts, I definitely noticed that this was just a hair too long, whereas this one was a lot more comfortable and more normal of a collar on a combat shirt. For KVB, doing the 2015 to 2017 impression kit, obviously the Lindnerhof Taktik one is going to be more kosher. However, I'll be entirely honest. Underneath a combat shirt, unless you've seen the differences side by side, you're not really going to be able to tell. This combat shirt is extremely similar in design, bar those few details that I had mentioned prior. If you're interested in picking either one of these up, you're going to have to pay a pretty penny. Unfortunately, these are very heavily regulated and very challenging to get your hands on. So if you do see one pop up for sale, definitely grab it. You can expect prices to be anywhere between 500 euros to 950 euros or even more. I would recommend paying around the 500 to 600 euro range, especially for a Wattana top, because these seem to be a little bit more common. If you're at all interested in finding out more about these combat shirts or want to see some pictures of them in action, let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram at The.Gear.Locker and we could talk about them. I love these things. I think they're super cool, very key parts to a modern 2017 KSK kit. So if you're curious at all, let me know and we'll chat. And with all that being said, which one did you like better? The Lindnerhof Taktik combat shirt or the Wattana combat shirt? Again, both of these have different uses for different time periods, although the design is extremely similar. In fact, it's only minor cosmetic things with maybe some minor functional details added on. Of course, I'll be using this 2016 dated one for my 2015 to 2017 KSK impression kit, but under a plate carrier, this one's not gonna look too much different. So if you do find one of these, I would definitely still recommend grabbing it. Of course, that 2016 dated stuff is always gonna be a little bit more correct. So with all that being said, thank you guys for checking out the video. This is The Gear Locker, and we'll see you in the next one.